awarded 17 traditionally red states to Donald Trump, 9 usually blue states to Kamala Harris. No results in from Michigan on the presidential race.
And let's take a look now at some local and state races that are on the ballot. Results are coming in for Michigan's seat in the U.S. Senate. Democrat Alyssa Slotkin has 52% of the vote, with Mike Rogers at 45%. This is with 7% of precincts reporting.
And U.S. House District 4 covering several counties, primarily Allegan and Van Buren, along with parts of Kalamazoo, Calhoun, Berrien, and Ottawa. Incumbent Republican Bill Huizenga with 81% of the vote to Kalamazoo Attorney Jessica Schwartz's 18%. At this very early stage, it appears that Huizenga has a commanding lead.
Several seats are open in Michigan state legislature. That includes the representative for District 40, which covers Kalamazoo and Allegan counties. Democrat Matt Longjohn is running against Republican Kelly Sackett. Right now, we do not have any results.
Also, District 44 covers Calhoun County. Democrat Jim Hadsma is battling it out with Republican Steve Frisbee. Hadsma, the incumbent there, will have numbers shortly. We hope for that race and pass those along to you. Meanwhile, a big race in Kalamazoo County we're watching for sheriff. Voters deciding between incumbent Democrat Richard Fuller and Van Buren County Sheriff's Captain James Sharon. No numbers to report yet. You can count on News Channel 3 for all of your election coverage. We've got live team coverage from across West Michigan on all the big races that matter to you.
So join us on ARC West Michigan. That's Channel 3.2 in just a few minutes at 10 p.m. And our coverage here on News Channel 3 will continue at 10:56 p.m.
Well, I'm talking to Karen now, so do you want me? Hold on, let me try IFB. Okay.
All right. Yes, the votes are being counted as we speak for who West Michigan will send to the House of Representatives. Now, Bill.
Good evening. The polls in Michigan have now closed. The ballots are now being counted. It is a waiting game from here on out to see who will be the winner of the seats that could influence local, state, and national politics. We are, of course, one of 7 key battleground states in the presidential race. Our highly coveted 15 electoral college votes have not yet been assigned. However, that could be changing shortly. Thanks for joining us on this election night. I'm Andy Dominiani.
And I'm Jessica Hardhorn. The most important race of the night is for president. Former President Donald Trump is making his 3rd shot at the White House, while Vice President Kamala Harris is looking to fill that seat. And several states have already been called for either Harris or Trump. And right now, you're taking a live look at the race to 270 electoral votes. At this time, it looks like Harris has 81 to Trump's 178 electoral votes. And right now, Harris has a lead in our state with 51% of the votes, with 16% of precincts reporting in Michigan. And a race we're keeping a very close eye on tonight is Michigan's U.S. Senate seat. It's a seat that's being left vacant by longtime Senator Democrat Debbie Stabenow.
Michigan's first ever U.S. female senator. The race between U.S. Representative and former CIA analyst Democrat Alyssa Slotkin and former U.S. Representative, Army Lieutenant, FBI agent, Republican Mike Rogers. Right now, the race is coming down to this. 52% of the votes recorded have been for Alyssa Slotkin to Mike Rogers' 46%. And that is 8% reporting in at this early hour.
And tonight, News Channel 3's Autumn Pitcher and Tyler Brummett are covering this race very closely. Our team coverage begins with Autumn Pitcher, who's joining us live in Detroit at Slotkin's watch party. Autumn.
Yes, there's been a lot of excitement here in the Motor City for Representative Slotkin. It's a full room of supporters, and we just heard U.S. Senator Debbie Stabenow take to the stage in support of Representative Slotkin, and we've seen so much support today here. Now, whoever wins tonight will, of course, replace Democrat U.S. Senator Debbie Stabenow. She's held that seat since 2001. Democrats want to keep this seat blue because right now they have majority control of the United States Senate. Representative Slotkin feels she's best fit based on her 5.5 years legislating and background in national security.
Her values and what she stands for really resonates with me, especially the fact that she's very personal. I've had several encounters with her as clergy in Flint and in Saginaw and Genesee County, and she's just been nothing but absolutely amazing. She takes the time to listen to you and to hear you.
Now, U.S. Senator Debbie Stabenow has said time and time again that she is fully backing Representative Slotkin, and she is ready to pass on that torch to her. Now, we do know that Representative Slotkin is expected to take to the stage in just a little bit. We'll bring you updates from her speech and, of course, as this race is called. But for now, I want to send things over to Tyler Brummett, who's joining us live in Novi with the Republican side of things, and Mike Rogers. Tyler, how's it going over there?
Yeah, hi, Autumn. Good evening to you. Obviously, a big race here tonight. We cannot say that enough. And there's been a lot of energy here in Novi as we have seen those results come in. Obviously, this crowd is waiting very patiently tonight. As we have said, the big race is the race for Senate between Representative Alyssa Slotkin as well as former Congressman Mike Rogers. Now, I do want to show you some video from earlier tonight. Take a look at your screen. Earlier tonight, former Congressman Mike Rogers taking the stage to thank his supporters. He's ran a campaign that's been focused on the economy, the U.S. southern border, as well as crime. Rogers says he feels like his campaign is in a good spot, but he also told the crowd he expects it to be a long night.
This is our chance to stand up for those people who are throwing their hands up and saying, man, life is just too hard. So for all of those, help me do this tonight. Let's do this. Let's keep our spirits high. It's going to be up. It's going to be down.
So as we've told you, this seat has been under Democratic control since 1994. So Rogers flipping this seat would obviously potentially have a major impact in Washington. Of course, we're going to be here throughout the night to bring you the very latest, both on air and online. For now, we're live in Novi. Tyler Brummett, News Channel 3.
Tyler, Autumn, thanks so much. Taking a live look right now at the current balance of power in the Senate. Right now, the Democrats hold a slim majority of 51 to 49. 34 seats are now up for re-election. As you can see right there, Democrats have 36 U.S. Senate seats to the Republicans' 47 at this hour. Well, we move now to the races for Michigan's U.S. representatives.
And we begin with U.S. House District 4, which covers several counties in southwest Michigan, the cities of Kalamazoo and Battle Creek, Allegan, Van Buren County, parts of Kalamazoo, Calhoun, Berry, and Ottawa counties. Incumbent Republican Bill Huizenga trying to keep his job, running against Democratic attorney, a challenger named Jessica Swartz. 71% for Bill Huizenga, with 1% of precincts reporting in to Jessica Swartz's 27%. Not a close race there at this hour.
And our live team election coverage continues with News Channel 3's Colin Roos, that is. He joins us live at Heritage Hall on the campus of Western Michigan University. Colin, what can you tell us so far?
Yes, the votes are being counted as we speak for who West Michigan will send to the House of Representatives. Republican Bill Huizenga has represented Michigan in Congress since 2011, and Democrat Jessica Swartz is a public interest attorney and served in the federal government for 9 years. Huizenga is a former state legislator and current owner of a sand and gravel business. He tells us that he believes that the national debt and bureaucracy are out of control and that he will make sure that rural areas have access to banking and insurance. Swartz, meanwhile, is concerned about a nationwide abortion ban passing in Congress. If elected, she hopes to support a bill that protects access to contraception and IVF. She also wants to begin a transition to renewable energy to help preserve the resources of Lake Michigan. Now, stay with News Channel 3 as we follow the race of the 4th Congressional District as well as the 3rd District that covers Grand Rapids and Muskegon. But for now, live in Kalamazoo, I'm Colin Roos.
Colin, thank you. And there are 2 other U.S. House races that we're watching very closely. District 3 includes parts of Kent, Ottawa, and Muskegon counties. Right now, Democrat Hillary Scholten has 65% of the vote to Paul Hudson's 34%, and 37% of precincts are now reporting.
U.S. District 5, which is a strange district after redistricting, covering the entire southern border of Michigan, all of our Indiana and Ohio border counties included. Republican incumbent Tim Walberg there at 67% of the vote to challenger Libby Urban's 31%. Only 19% of precincts reporting in. So, of course, those numbers will change. And taking a look at the balance of power in the U.S. House of Representatives, Republicans have held the majority for the last 2 years with 220 seats. While the Democrats have 212 so far. The Democrats have claimed 82, the Republicans 119. Too early at this hour to tell exactly what that will mean for the future of the majority control of the House.
Turning now to the weather. This is a live look over downtown Kalamazoo on this election night. Certainly a windy and rainy day out there at the polls, and some of that rain will continue into tomorrow.
Our chief meteorologist, Keith Thompson, joining us live in studio with a look at the forecast. Keith.
Yeah, some of these showers are going to be around here for the next few hours or so before finally winding down. But a look at live Doppler radar shows where the rain is right now. You see that narrow band of yellow there. That's where we have some heavier showers and thunderstorms and also some gusty wind. That's moving off to the east. We put this into motion. You see the back edge of the showers now moving across the big lake. And as a result, I think things will start to be winding down overnight. Right now, the temperatures are still mild for this time of night, this time of year, well into the 60s. But that will soon be changing. In fact, in your bus stop forecast for Wednesday, off to school at about 50 degrees with cloudy skies. And again, that's much cooler than what we've had lately. And it stays relatively cool through the day, mainly cloudy in the afternoon. They head home with sweater cool temps in the mid to upper 50s. Much more on the weekend forecast coming up. Jessica?
Keith, thanks so much. Well, this could be a historic election in terms of voter turnout. Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson says the highest turnout was in 2020 when 5.5 million Michiganders voted. She says that even before today, 3.3 million Michiganders voted early or cast absentee ballots. Benson also says that we should see results earlier this year than in 2020.
The biggest determining factor of that will be the closeness of the race, that we do expect results to be in sooner than they were in 2020, which was midday on Wednesday.
And Benson also says there are around 7,000 military and overseas voters, and those ballots can be returned up until Monday or Tuesday of next week if they're postmarked by Election Day. Well, more numbers are coming in from Michigan's House seats.
Yeah, we're keeping our eye on a couple coming in from West Michigan right now. District 40 in the state house covers Allegan, Kalamazoo counties. Democrat Matt Longjohn, Republican Kelly Sackett are running for that position. And at this point, there are no numbers to share with you. Our team coverage continues now with News Channel 3's Princess Johnny Steverson, who's been watching this race in particular. And she joins us live now from Portage City Hall. And Princess, you've been learning about both of the candidates running for the 40th district today.
I have, Andy, and as you mentioned, those people would like to serve the people in District 40 that consist of Kalamazoo, Portage, Oshtemo, and Texas Township. I spoke with the Democratic candidate, Matt Longjohn, who is a tutoring physician at WMed. He's been in healthcare for 25 years, and his goal is to improve the state's healthcare system by lowering prescription drugs, something he said skyrocketed after COVID-19.
We don't have enough doctors or healthcare providers in the state. We got to be doing a better job of growing and diversifying that workforce.
I tried reaching out to Long John's Republican opponent, Kelly Sackett, about how she'd like to work the district's poverty level into decreasing. I've yet to hear back from her, though. Reporting live in Portage, Princess Johnny Steverson, News Channel 3.
Princess, thank you. Let's take a look right now at the open seat in the State House for District 42. That covers a big part of Kalamazoo County. And right now you can see no results are coming in. This is between Republican Matt Hall and Democrat Austin Marsman.
And District 44, which covers Calhoun County, also has an open seat in the State House of Representatives. Incumbent Democrat Jim Hadsma being challenged tonight by Republican Steve Frisbee. This race is critical in the state legislature as it could shift majority power in the House. And News Channel 3's Carter Landis is live with more on that race after speaking tonight with both candidates. Carter.
Yeah, Andy, Steve Frisbee says that he is confident that he will win, while Jim Hadsma tells me that he is quietly confident. Both men are having their watch parties right now in Battle Creek. Hadsma's held that position since 2018, while Frisbee says that it's time for a new voice to represent Calhoun County in Lansing.
It's just making sure that you hit every corner of that district where people understand your name, they understand what you represent and what you're trying to do for them. And I think we've accomplished that.
I'm very fortunate to have a great team that supports me, and they've ensured that I put the best foot forward in arguing that I should be the guy to come back and represent the 44th district in the 2025-26 term.
Coming up at 11, we'll have more on the Michigan House of Representatives 42nd district race. Reporting live, Carter Landis, News Channel 3.
Carter, thanks so much. Taking another look at an open seat in the State House. District 41 covers Kalamazoo, Plainwell, and Otsego. And this is between Democrat Julie Rogers and Republican Terry Haynes. No numbers coming in at this time.
It is still early. The polls have been closed for a little over 2 hours now. Our election night coverage continues after this quick break. But first, a quick look at the state Supreme Court races.
Going back to the 10 o'clock.
Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing.
And welcome back to News Channel 3 live at 10. The numbers continuing to roll in this hour from coast to coast.
On this election night, former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris looking to secure 270 electoral votes to win. Whoever does wins the White House. Right now, it's a very, very tight race, although traditional states have gone to the traditional candidate. As you can see, Donald Trump has control, projected control, according to the Associated Press, of red states, including Ohio, Texas, Florida, some of the bigger ones. Kamala Harris has won, according to the Associated Press, Illinois, New Jersey, Colorado. That's predictable.
And the electoral votes right now at 91 for Harris and 178 for Trump. A lot of information also coming in right now. And here to help us analyze those results is Dr. John Clark,
the chairman of the political science department at Western Michigan University, joining us live in studio. John, thanks for being here. No major surprises, as you saw. A lot of traditionally red states going to Trump, the same blue states going for Kamala. But in the 7 battlegrounds, including ours, they are neck and neck as they've always been. Do you expect we're going to see a winner in the next few hours?
I would be very surprised if we had a winner in the next few hours, Andy. The states that have been called so far are states where the election was never really in doubt. But in those 7 battleground states that you mentioned, of which Michigan is one, and in several other states that are more competitive, we still don't know yet who the winner is going to be. And frankly, here in Michigan, we may not know until tomorrow.
And John, the balance of power in the U.S. Senate razor thin, as we all know. Currently, the Democrats hold a 51-49 majority. Republicans need only to flip 1 or 2 states to regain control. And one of the races that may flip is the soon-to-be vacated seat held by longtime Democrat Debbie Stabenow. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, this is another extremely close race. My guess is that the Senate race is going to track pretty closely with the presidential race here in Michigan. But the early returns, at least, are suggesting that perhaps Alyssa Slotkin is doing a little bit better in some places than is Kamala Harris. Mike Rogers doing worse than former President Trump. Still, though, too close to call at this point. But Michigan is really important in this sense. The Senate is going to be nearly 50-50. One side is going to have a majority. It just is. But that makes this seat and several other seats just exceptionally important in this election cycle.
The Associated Press saying 20% of our votes are in, and it is very, very tight between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Dr. John Clark from Western, chair of the political science department. We really appreciate your time, and stay with us, and we'll talk with you a little bit later on tonight.
Absolutely.
We're going to take a quick look at the forecast here, starting with your tonight outlook. Rain ending overnight, and then cloudy and turning cooler. And by daybreak, we'll be around 50 degrees. The outlook for tomorrow, mainly cloudy skies, maybe some late day sun, but cooler with a high of 57. Here's your 7-day forecast. More sun ahead for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then Sunday, we could see some showers. Jessica.
All right, Keith, thank you. Our election night coverage continues next with a look at the Kalamazoo County Sheriff's race.
Test, test, test. Welcome back to our election night coverage.
And welcome back to our election night 2024 live coverage. We turn now to Kalamazoo County.
And there are 3 big races that we're watching tonight, including the race for Kalamazoo County Clerk, Treasurer, and Sheriff. We begin with the Kalamazoo County Sheriff's race, and this is between Republican James Sharon and incumbent Democrat Richard Fuller. At this time, no results are coming in.
And News Channel 3's Mackenzie Decker is joining us in studio with more on the candidates. Mackenzie.
Yeah, that's right, Andy. Jessica, we've been keeping a close eye on this race tonight, waiting to see who will be named Kalamazoo County Sheriff for the next 4 years. Sheriff Fuller said if reelected, he will focus on strengthening programs that his office has developed over the last 16 years, with a heavy focus on gun violence.
We're always anxious, just waiting for the evening to go on so we can hear the counts, hear some numbers. We did a really good campaign this time. We made sure that thousands of doors were knocked. We made sure our voice was heard in many different places.
Captain Sharon said it's time for new leadership with new policies and programs to address crime levels, mental health, and drug addictions. While unable to speak in person, he did make a statement about the election, saying, quote, "I am very excited about the turnout and the support from the community. I felt more confident as the day and voting progressed." We'll continue following this race as it unfolds and, of course, bringing you the most up-to-date information as results are announced. Live in studio, Mackenzie Decker, News Channel 3.
Well, the rain is moving out overnight. We're still going to see these showers here, I think, for the next couple of 3 hours. But during the day tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies. It's going to be cooler with a high of 57. More sun ahead for Thursday and Friday.
All right, looking good. We are expecting some sunshine after today, for
nice.
sure.
All right, thanks for joining us for our special election night coverage. We'll be back over on News Channel 3 beginning at 10:56 tonight.
And for all of your election-related news and results, you can always check our website, WWMT.com. Have a great evening.
This is a News Channel 3 election update.
Good evening. Thanks for staying with us for our continuing coverage on this election night. The polls have closed and the results are beginning to really come in.
And we'll take a look at some local and state races that are on the ballot in just a moment. But first, we'll look at how the presidential race is shaping up in our battleground state. And right now, the Associated Press estimates that 21% of the vote is counted and that Vice President Kamala Harris is leading with nearly 50% of the vote.
And results are coming in for Michigan's seat in the U.S. Senate. Longtime Democratic incumbent Debbie Stabenow retiring. Democrat Alyssa Slotkin, who is a current U.S. rep, has 50% of the vote with 11% of precincts reporting in. Former U.S. rep, Republican Mike Rogers, has 47%. That race now too close to call.
U.S. House District 4 covers several counties, primarily Allegan and Van Buren, parts of Kalamazoo, Calhoun, Berrien, and Ottawa. Republican Bill Huizenga right now coming in at 71% of the vote, with Jessica Swartz at 27%. This is with just 1% of precincts reporting. Well, Michigan saw over 3 million votes come in through absentee and early voting ahead of the election.
Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson gave an update at 9:30 tonight on Election Day voting.
We're on track to have those results by tomorrow, if not sooner. Already, every ballot voted in person and cast today has been tabulated. And while over 94% of the ballots voted from home were returned, There are still thousands that are left to be processed and are being processed and tabulated as we speak. There are another 6,000 ballots still outstanding from military and overseas voters. Tonight, there are no reports of long lines of voters remaining across the state, and there are no disruptions or fires, literally or metaphorically, to put out, and our tabulation process is going even more efficiently than expected.
Well, looking at more local and state results right now, several seats are open in Michigan State Legislature. That includes the representative for District 40, which covers Kalamazoo and Allegan counties. Democrat Matt Longjohn is running against Republican Kelly Sackett. No results at this hour.
A District 44 in the State House covers Calhoun County. Incumbent Democrat Jim Hansma is battling out with Republican Steve Frisbee. We don't have results of that race yet either. A big race in Kalamazoo County we're watching for you is sheriff. Voters deciding between incumbent Richard Fuller and Van Buren County Captain James Sharon. No numbers there either at this point.
There are also two proposals for Marshall Public Schools on the ballot tonight. The first is for a $53 million investment, and it asks whether residents think the district should build a new elementary school in Albion, as well as several additions to Gordon Elementary and Marshall Middle School. If approved, work would begin within the next year.
And the other proposal of particular interest to our viewers in eastern Calhoun County is a $37 million one, which would include the construction of a future Farmers of America barn, also turf for the football field at Marshall High School. The money would also build a new gym and upgrade the baseball and softball facilities there. You can count on News Channel 3 for all of your election coverage. We've got team coverage across West Michigan on all of the races that matter to you.
And our coverage here on News Channel 3 will continue at 10:56 p.m. You can also track results on our website right now, WWMT.com.